Woman saw a bucket floating on the water's surface and, to everyone's surprise, excitedly lifted it up. Seeing this, the others also became emotional and immediately spread out to search. They were trapped in a 100-meter deep sinkhole caused by a ground collapse. Above them was a precariously wedged building that looked ready to fall at any moment. Meanwhile, heavy rain continued pouring down outside, and water kept rushing into the pit. If they didn't act quickly, they would all drown in there. Just as they thought of using many buckets to float on the surface, an enormous water tank drifted over. It turned out that Alan had found it in an open area nearby. Everyone was overjoyed and quickly climbed into the tank, but once everyone was inside, Alan chose to stay outside. If everyone went in, there would be no one left to close the tank lid. His son sensed something was wrong and tried to rush over to stop him, but he was a step too late. Alan quickly slammed the lid shut. From inside, his son kept banging and shouting, but Alan hardened his heart and twisted the lid tight. Without doing this, none of them would have escaped. As more rainwater poured into the pit, the building wedged above them began to collapse. It came crashing down directly on the water tank. The tank sank quickly, but thanks to the rainwater cushioning the impact, it didn't break apart. With its strong buoyancy, the tank managed to squeeze through a gap beneath the collapsing building and slowly began to float upward. But it had only just started to rise when several power cables blocked its path. The people inside quickly realized the tank was stuck. They tried ramming around from the inside a few times, but it still couldn't get free from the wires. Sensing something was wrong, a few of them jumped in the opposite direction. That finally allowed the tank to escape the entanglement. But the worst was yet to come. On the way up, the tank struck a steel rod, and a huge amount of rainwater flooded inside. Even with everyone pushing together, they couldn't remove the rod. Just as they were at their wits' end, a banging sound came from outside. It was Alan, wearing an oxygen tank. With his help, they managed to shake off the steel rod, but the hole left by the rod couldn't be sealed. Seeing this, Tom gathered his courage and jammed his arm into the hole with all his might. Outside, Alan tried to grab Tom's hand, hoping to float up with the tank, but no matter how hard he swam, he was always just a bit too far. Just as Alan's strength gave out and he was about to fall back into the pit, a rope on the tank wrapped around his leg. In this way, under the action of buoyancy, Alan was pulled to surface.